So we're not doing any building today, guys, but we're off on a little adventure. I'm actually on my way, just about set off, me and my brilliant, amazing wife, down to Armortek. I've been invited down to Armortek, hopefully to talk to Kian and Monique and all the team down there about plans for next year and what they've got in the pipeline, and also just give you guys a bit of an insight to this amazing UK-based company that provides these incredible models and kits for us builders to really sort of sink our teeth into. So we've only just set off. We've got a 2.5 hour drive. I need to stop and get some fuel somewhere. And I've brought some Christmas chocolates and biscuits for the team down there because I just think they're all amazing. So we'll give you another update nearer the time, but we've got 2.5 hours to go, and I better get cracking. Right, so here I am. Here's my wife in the camera. Just arrived at Armortek, and just incredibly, just blown away by the first thing you see when you walk into the Armortek factory is this sort of library, this sort of archive of these incredible kits that Armortek have been producing for so many years. I absolutely love this. In a moment I'm going to introduce you to Kian, who is the brainchild and owner of this company, and the one that enables us to have such an incredible hobby. So these are all tanks built for display purposes, all operational. There's the old Tiger there. When I say the old Tiger, I do miss my Tiger. There's a King Tiger, huge beast. You'll see the Churchill tank there, and the Leopard tank. So tempted with this one, so tempted. It's a beast, an absolute monster. And then we can see raw materials coming into the factory, ready to go off and to be made into something incredible. We just have a look what else we've got. And we've got an earlier version Tiger. Look at all this, incredible. What a privilege to be here, to be able to see these close up. I've never managed to get down here on an Armortek open day. I'm always sort of too busy, or something else gets in the way. But just to be here to witness this. Bailey Bridge. Incredible, absolutely beautiful. We had the solid pieces of aluminium. And people ask why these models are so expensive. That's why. Look at that. The raw material involved in production of one of these tanks is incredible. And we all know that the cost of these materials have gone through the roof. Just having a look at all this amazing stuff. Not only is it the cost of the materials, it's the engineering and the know-how and the expertise that goes into building these. Just all the parts. Incredible. I'm just going to do sort of a broad sweep around the factory. So I'm going to go into a bit more detail in a moment, but that's the production side there, where all the magic happens. And that is the spares. Over 300,000 spares Armortek hold in this facility. All these kits waiting to go out to their new lucky owners. So I'm here with Kian, the brainchild and the genius and the owner of Armortek. Kian, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you, and thank you for giving your time up today. I know you're a busy guy. I'm just really privileged to be here at the Armortek factory. I just wanted to have a couple of questions for you, really, Kian. Sure. It's like the background of Armortek. What is the background of Armortek? Because the guys that watch me on my channel, they probably don't know much about you, but I absolutely love what you do, and I love the fact you're a UK-based company and you do everything in the UK. Could you just give us a few words? Just a background.
Yeah, sure. So very briefly, Armortek is about 25 years old. So it was started around 2000 or so.
Right.
It started with the Tiger 1 in 1/6 scale, and also the Panther tank. So those were the first models.
Yeah.
My wife and I bought Armortek in 2017. So that's really when we got involved in the company, and we moved it from Devon to here in Winchester. We're just outside Winchester. And yeah, we've been running it ever since from over here.
And have you got some of the original guys still working with you here?
So when we bought Armortek, it really was just Mark and Jill that were running the company.
Right, wow.
But they had assistance from a chap called Chris, who's been with the company for
just met
donkey's
Chris.
years.
He's a real character.
So Chris started with us when we started here in 2017, and he's part of the furniture. He knows so much about the company and so much about the models.
So how long have you been in this? How long have you had this setup here? When did you move here?
2017.
2017. Yeah. It's an impressive setup. Absolutely impressive setup. And you are the chief designer as well, right? So you do all the sort of main design work. Am I right in saying that?
I wish I could say that. So Mark used to do all of the design work, and Mark still works with us to design new models.
Okay.
For all of the existing models, the refinements, all of that we tend to do in-house. But when we're bringing out a new model, then we tend to work with Mark, and he does a lot of.
So still very much involved.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
And he really enjoys it, which is nice as well.
But you've got a dedicated team here, haven't you? I mean, but you're not a massive team, am I right? Is it fair to say that? But you've got a real dedicated team.
There are 5 of us in total.
That's incredible.
So 3 guys working here, and then myself and my wife. So yeah, we're a small company, but it's a nice size.
But what you turn out is incredible. You almost give us the impression that it's a bigger organisation. So it's really nice to know that I'm not calling you small, far from it, but it's a really nice, friendly, sort of almost family-orientated company. But the thing that blows my mind is it's based in the UK. There's not so many stories you hear about stuff that we bring into the country.
Yeah.
You guys should be sort of elevated up even more than you are. Because you should be championing engineering in the UK. I just love it.
Yeah, so we do all of the manufacturing on the machines you can see behind you. So we have 5 CNC machines, 3 mills, 2 lathes. They're highly automated, which is why we can make do with such a small team. But yeah, all of the parts are made here.
Yeah.
We don't do castings. That's something that we don't get involved
that's external.
in. Yeah, so all of that is bought into the tracks. If we have cast turrets, those are bought in. We also don't do rubber tyres, so all of the rubber bits we buy in. But otherwise, all of the machine stuff, it's all made here.
And the cost of raw materials now that have just gone through the roof, right?
Yeah.
I've noticed you haven't really increased your prices. You're just trying to stay within, because a lot of my followers always question, I think I said to you earlier, that they seem to be so expensive, these kits, but it's only until you see what goes into them you realise that it's much more than just a finished item. There's thousands of pieces that go into the build of one of these tanks. And when you see the raw materials like here, and I know because I'm in the construction industry, I know the cost of raw materials, and aluminium in particular has just gone through the roof. So how do you temper that? How do you try and manage the...
So we have absorbed a lot of the costs along the way.
Right.
We know that people have a limited budget, and we can't keep increasing our costs, so we've had to absorb some costs along the way. But material costs did increase a lot. The Panther was probably, the Panther G that we made during the COVID period was probably the most expensive kit we've ever made, because aluminium costs went up by about 200%, brass went up by about 400%.
Yeah, I know.
It was a
insane.
Huge increase in prices.
It was insane. A sheet of plasterboard was 4 times the price it was before COVID.
Yeah, there we go.
I know, right? Yeah.
But a tank like the Leopard, so you asked about the expense of these things.
Yeah.
The tank like the Leopard, it probably has about 1,600 parts.
Yeah.
And then there are probably about 2,000 fasteners that go in there. So those 1,600 parts all need to be manufactured somewhere.
Right.
And we tend to do that over here.
But
it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort.
It's only when you see it up close you realise how big it is. I didn't realise how big it is. It's a beast. Yeah. You need some space to build that. I mean, and while we're talking about the Leopard, going forward, I know you've obviously got to be careful about what your plans are for the next year or so, because I know you keep those fairly close, and rightly so. I know that you've been developing a new, am I allowed to say it, firing mechanism?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I allowed to tell the people? Because I've seen it operating and it's incredible. Are you happy to show the guys how this works?
Absolutely. So things like new electronics that were coming out, we're happy to share as we go through the development cycle on that. What I'll show you now has actually been in development probably for about 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
But because we're a small team, other priorities always come along. So it gets put on the shelf, redeveloped, put on the shelf again. But when it comes to new models, we tend to launch those as a surprise. Right. So I think probably in the next few weeks we'll be announcing maybe 1 or 2 new models for next year.
Right.
But I can't spill any secrets.
No, of
just
course
yet.
not. No, of course not. Well,
But let me show you.
yes, please. Let me come round here, sir.
So. Yeah, so this is the new firing mechanism, and let me hope that I got the sticks right.
That's it, firing up, lovely. Wow.
There we go.
You caught that? That's amazing. I love that. Wow.
So this is using our new recoil system, which is based on a stepper motor. So it has fast recoil and then slow recovery.
Yeah.
And then we've also linked that now to a smoke generation option pack to pump out some exhaust smoke.
Is this? Has this got the ability to be retrospectively fitted to older models, like previous tanks? Can owners of models buy this upgrade for their tank?
Yeah, that's the plan. At the moment, we haven't gone down that route.
Right. Okay.
So we've developed it for the Leopard. This will go into the Jag Panther when we start shipping that out, and then we'll look to put us into the older models as we go.
Right. I guess because it takes up more space. Is that right? It is because it's more space required, and some of them, some of them have got plenty of.
It's getting a bit smoky.
Oh, that's awesome, Kian. That's absolutely awesome. That's awesome.
There you go. Have a bit more smoke.
Amazing. So thanks, Kian. Really appreciate that, mate. Really smart.
Thank you.
So
down,
no, I'm buzzing about being here, and now I'm going to plead with Kian just to show us a little bit of the production area. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Is that all right? Can we be able to have a little bit of a sneak preview?
Yeah, I'll give you a little tour.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll walk along, and my amazing colleague, i.e. my wife, will film us. So these parts here, sorry Kian, these all these sort of block material, is this all going to be used for production, or is this sort of waste, or just?
Yeah, so these are this bit here is all random bits of offcut, which we comes off the machines. We're not sure whether we'll ever have a use for it. It's good for making prototype parts.
Yeah.
So we just keep a whole bunch here.
Nothing goes to waste, really.
A lot does.
All right.
I'll show you the swarf in a minute.
Okay.
And then the pile right here tends to be bits that we probably can use again on production.
Right.
So these are larger offcuts that we have sufficient quantities of.
Yeah, wow. There's the legend Chris. There he is. It's Chris, everybody. The legend. Oh, so this is a swarf, right? So this is
we produce a lot of swarf, depending on what parts we make.
Yeah.
A lot of swarf. We have a bin outside that all of this gets put into, and then the swarf man comes around and collects it.
That's incredible. But that gets recycled, I'm guessing.
That all gets recycled.
Yeah,
we're very environmentally friendly.
Yeah, I know.
Line.
Wow. Look at this. Can you get in there and have a look at that?
So this is a milling centre, and it's a 5-axis machine, so we can machine on multiple sides of a part at once.
Wow.
This is making a part for the bogey frame of the 88 Black at the moment. Let me see if I can find you. So basically we're starting with
Lisa?
We start with this lump here of aluminium, and by the end of the process, which takes 9 minutes and 39 seconds, we're then left with this.
Incredible.
So as you can see, it's being machined on multiple parts.
Incredible. Beautiful.
And then this will go in for a second op on one of the 3-axis machines, and it will skim the top, and then that's the finished part.
So in total time-wise, to make that part to a finished part that gets packed into the box, what are you talking?
For this particular part, we're probably looking at about 12, 13 minutes.
13 minutes, and that's just one part. Just one small part of the bogey. Incredible. This is another one of the stars of Armortek, Sean.
Yeah, so here we have Sean setting up.
This is Sean.
He's setting up for the winch case. for the SDKFZ7. So on the half track, it contains a winch around the middle of the chassis, and this is then the body for that.
Right. Wow. And okay. We're going to see it in operation now.
Earlier today, Sean made all of these on one of the 3-axis machines. So the part was sitting down like that, and we just made the outline.
Can I feel the weight of that?
Yeah, sure.
It's just quality, isn't it? It just look. This is why Armortek are the best. Just the quality in that, and it's not even finished, but it just feels right. So I don't want to put that in the wrong place.
No,
sorry,
it's fine.
I don't want to get told off. Sean.
Still a work in progress. So all the internals are then opened up for the drum and the bearing.
How much cleaning is involved in these machines? Do you have to clean them? I mean, do they ever? It just seems a lot of swarf build up and everything.
The machines keep themselves fairly clean.
Right.
So every now and then you do need to clean them a little bit, but because there's so much coolant flying around
Of
with
course,
the machines in operation,
yeah.
it washes all of the swarf down, and then it gets collected in the swarf bins that you just saw.
Incredible. I've seen a couple of your videos that you've launched or you've put on YouTube. I could watch them for hours. They're mesmerising. I just find these mesmerising. You know, it's hypnotic almost.
Yeah, we keep meaning to do more, but they take time to.
Of course they do. I get it.
I'm sure you know. So
Yeah.
We do try occasionally to put one together.
No, but I'll just put it on repeat and just watch the same thing. I mean, the turret for the Persian I watched about 15 times, and it wasn't enough. I kept wanting more. It was wonderful. Yeah, it was just quality.
I was there to. I think it took about a day to actually get all the footage for that because the memory card kept filling up.
Yeah. I know the
Anyway,
problem.
so.
Yeah. No, amazing. Thank you, Sean. Thanks, man.
So this machine is also operating with a trunnion here, so that the part can be moved into multiple directions, and we can machine on multiple sides at once. And the advantage of machines like these is that they have a carousel at the top with a whole bunch of tools, and we then have an automatic tool changer. So once you set the program running, it just runs through.
Incredible. This technology has really allowed sort of production companies, engineering companies like yourself to really sort of push boundaries, isn't it? Just to be able to get, the precision is incredible. And it's all produced by CAD information initially, like AutoCAD, or what's your base software that you use for this?
So most of our models are produced on SolidWorks.
Right, SolidWorks,
and then, from those 3D models, I generate the CAM through the CAM package. I create the programs for the mills. For the lathes, we program them at the machine.
And how many prototypes do you go through before you get it sort of exactly how it should be? Is that a trade secret?
That depends on the part.
Oh, right, okay.
First time every time.
Of course, yeah. Absolutely. I wouldn't expect anything less. No, amazing. Thank you. Sorry, Sean's going to let me loose on his multi-million-pound machine here, and you watch me screw this up. I won't, promise you. I promise. So Sean's just going to talk us through. Tony's workshop comes and ruins Armortek. I'm so sorry. Right. So yeah, Sean, away you go. Sorry.
So this is the first operation on the sprocket wheel for the 7. So we've formed this profile on the back, which will then be held onto, and then we'll machine the taper for the taper lock in, and the detail for the front.
The dreaded taper lock. Yeah.
So to release the chuck, we just need to use the foot pedal here. That will close them and open them again.
Right.
So please don't put your fingers underneath them, it will hurt.
So I'm going to...
So if you grab this billet here.
Right, yeah.
And if you place it squarely into the jaws, and then when you're ready, push the foot
don't put anywhere in it.
Yeah. Place it square. That's it, now push the foot pedal. Perfect. So we can now shut it.
Wow.
If you shut the door, then you can push this green button here, and it will kick into life.
Now?
We need to shut the door.
Oh, right, okay. All right. All right, I've only just started. Give me a chance.
It's your first day, but...
This apprenticeship is tough. Green button, yeah?
Yes, green button now.
I feel like one of these ridiculous politicians now. All right, we've all done it. Yeah. And off we go. Can you see that? Incredible. Just incredible. It's like something out of a science fiction film, isn't it? Just incredible to watch it. This is better than making cakes. Quality.
This is really cool.
Wow. Wow. Right.
So the part that we're going to be producing, Tony, is right behind you.
Well, sorry.
So that's what's going to come out of...
That's the finished piece. That's the finished piece.
Well, this op is finished.
I think
It will then have to go through other
This
ops.
is one I made earlier.
Wow.
So the
Just-
sprocket ring fits on.
Right,
That.
yeah, gotcha.
There are actually 2 sprocket rings that will go on. Like that.
I haven't deburred that one yet.
Okay. We have another cover that goes on here to hold everything in place.
Wow.
But then a second op, we need to do all of the details on this face.
Yeah.
And then as Sean mentioned, we also need to put the taper lock.
Yeah, the dreaded taper lock, eh?
Details,
People get really hung up about that. I don't know why they do. So what, sorry, but this is going on the 7? No.
Yes.
It's on the 7, right. Wow. Just the amount of it, again, I mean, I say this all the time when I'm building these amazing kits. When you handle these parts, just, it's a real privilege to sort of to hold it, you know. And every part you take out of the bag, I still get, I mean, apart from the fixings, I do need to go and meet the fixings guy, right? Because whoever does the fixings is a hero in my eye.
We keep them in a cupboard.
I just think this image of this guy just sitting there, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no, it's just a privilege to hold these things. Just beautiful. Just a beautiful thing. Yeah, and so when you guys ask why these models so expensive, they're not expensive. You think about what goes into the raw materials, the production, the engineering, the design, the research. Years of research goes into this, so bear that in mind. It's not, when you reflect the cost of these models against what is actually involved in them, I think they're a bargain, actually. I would say that.
Oh, I agree.
No, it's no, wonderful. Thank you. That's really lovely. Thanks very much, Sean. An absolute pleasure meeting you, mate. And thanks again, Kian.
Pleasure.
Can we go and meet the fixings guy?
I'll get the key.
Yeah. Is it Kian that does that? Do you to do this?
He said the key.
Oh, all right.
I'll let him out for the day.
Oh, you're going to let him out of his cage. All right. So now we're with Shoma, who's doing another really important job for the. Am I allowed to name the kit? Am I allowed to? Do you want to tell us? I don't want to get in blame.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 7.
Which the guys are working on for release. I don't know, later on this year potentially. Yeah. So this is a bench press. Would you call it?
Press brake.
Oh, okay.
Press brake. CSC press brake.
Right. And this is where you try not to lose your fingers, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, you don't want to
Wow. Look at that. And you just know where to stop it, do you? Or
Oh, no, it's set up.
oh, yeah, okay. I was going to give you too much
yeah.
credit. Yeah,
no.
sorry.
But they have a point tweaking it, they're a bit inconsistent. But
I got you. Yeah, because it. Yeah.
Hold it. Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Wow.
And then
Brilliant. Thank you.
goes in the stack.
Amazing. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. So when do you have a release date for this yet, Kian?
We will probably start shipping in the new year.
Right. Yeah.
We're waiting for the tracks to come in. We had a bit of a delay on that because we we changed the design of the tracks that we now have rubber inserts in them,
Right.
Which meant we had to go through additional testing on the tracks to make sure they were strong enough.
Right.
So yeah, the track should be arriving to us probably just before we break for Christmas, and then we'll start shipping afterwards.
This is the much anticipated model, this, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so now with Chris, the legend. I understand, Chris, you're the guy responsible for putting all the nuts in the bag. So
Unfortunately, yes.
incredible. I say that all the
There's a
time.
downside to the hobby, and that's it.
I always say that on my channel. I really admire the guy that puts all the nuts in the bag
Yeah.
and all the fixings in the bag, because it's just incredible. Because I've never short of one. There's always extra freebies. You always put. Am I allowed to say that?
Do you, Chris? No.
I'm always got one, just one, just
have
one,
that?
just
Yeah,
one little nut is left.
That's the one you drop. Drop down the floorboard.
And Chris is building the 7. Look at this, is the one that we're all looking forward to seeing. And just by looking at it now, I mean, what your purpose is? It you're building this to sort of test fit everything, and
Just make sure all the parts are there. Check it with the manual to check we've got the fasteners correct for the manual. So it's just a cross-reference, really, to basically what goes out to the customer.
wow. I mean, it's already looking impressive. And has this got a winch, a working winch on it?
Yeah.
Is what it does, yeah.
Yeah, the winch will be sat under the floor, sort of in the middle there.
Yeah, it's lovely. The great thing about these kits, it gives the builder so many options how to finish with the accessories and figures and everything else, which is incredible. I've seen some in some real detail. Amazing. So this is Chris's workshop. He is absolutely this. Chris's workshop.
As opposed to Tony's workshop. I thought I'll get in there first.
You'll need to start a YouTube channel now, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
Me and modern technology don't mix.
Likewise. I
Nuts
don't know
and
how
bolts.
I get away with
I'll
it really.
stick the nuts and bolts.
My son Ben's a great editor. He's a magician. So where's all your fixings then? Oh, there, look, they're all here.
This is the Aladdin's cave.
Look at that.
Things.
Incredible. I just thought,
It takes me about a week to pack a whole kit's worth of fasteners.
it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
50 sets, so
Because you're counting them one by one, right? 1, 2, 3,
I can
4.
only count to 10.
You got your feet and you got your toes, haven't you?
Fingers, so that's
Amazing, amazing. Oh, Chris, it's an absolute pleasure meeting you,
Thank
mate.
you.
You're a legend,
Yeah, thank you
absolute
very
legend.
much.
Thank you. And Kian, thank you as well. I'll probably sign off by saying I've had an amazing day here at Armortek, and a massive thank you to Kian for giving up so much of your time.
Yeah, not at all.
Thank
You again for
It's a real pleasure. So I'll get this in the can. Ben will do some editing, make Chris look a lot younger than he currently is,
good luck with that.
and me a little bit slimmer. But I'll just sign off by saying thanks for joining us, guys. I've had an amazing day at Armortek, and a massive thanks to everyone here, and keep up the amazing work. Thank you.